We shouldn't be 25, 26, 27 being a feminist. That's silly. Come on. That is for children. You know what I mean? Imagine crying to the government while saying government. That makes no sense. If you identify as a feminist, that is like a signal to society that you are a confused woman. You have no idea what's going on in the world. You have no idea how we got here. All the faults of feminism you blame on capitalism, but then you're fighting for the right to be a part of capital. Like, it's just really crazy. Once you're 22, if you haven't started to figure out that, hey, gender roles actually are good for society and I gotta get married, you're okay? Some of y'all like to wait till the last minute till you're 30 or something to try to change your mind. It's not happening. You gotta, the activism, the liberalism, the feminism, 18 to 22. We shouldn't be seeing 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds at the protests. You know what I mean? Like, okay, like feminism is a young woman's sport. Let them have that. Let them have their fun, kiki. Once you turn 22, 23, it's time to find you a man and lock it up. Okay? Because, like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're gonna be 40 protesting for women's rights? That's what you're gonna do? Right.
What I'm saying in the comments is that y'all can't leave y'all kids with the dad because you have a poor choice in men. Y'all keep saying the daddy this, the daddy that. He ain't this, he ain't that. He ain't gonna take care of him like I'm gonna take care of him. He homeless, he ain't got nowhere to stay, so where my kids gonna stay? He barely take a bath, so my kids, they ain't gonna come back dirty. Why y'all be laying up with these type of men? Yeah, what's the matter with y'all? Having babies by men.
If your partner is amazing, like he's amazing emotionally, physically. Earlier this year, I had to have 2 brain surgeries. He stayed with me in the hospitals. He even washed my butt some of the times.
Damn.
But he wasn't working for a couple of months, and I'm 24 now. So I basically feel like I'm just real grown, and I just want to know, like, how long.
Tell me more about this 24 grown. That's not me talking, that's the crowd. So what's your question?
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
This saying. And you don't feel appreciated. Can't win.
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
Basically, like, we haven't been out on any dates or anything recently, and I just want to know, like, how long do I wait before I feel appreciated?
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 26, verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of the Lord, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. Call Holayim La, Albanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakat, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the Akim out there on the highways and the byways. Salutations to the hopeful elect. Salutations to you speckled birds, you Israelite foreigners. And shalom to the Akwaf, sitting and listening in silence as the scriptures say to do so. Sirach chapter 26, verse 14. A silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. And as we know, and as we continue to see that we don't have silent women in our nation. We have women, and not only in our nation, but the nations of all women in Babylon the Great. Every woman in Babylon the Great, and especially the Israelite woman, because that's the main one we are concerned with, and that we, prophesy, well, so like we prophesy to the men, but also the women will hear the message, and women will be saved, the ones that do repent, and the one that the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai has ordained to receive salvation. But you don't have any silent women amongst Israel, and damn sure not amongst any other nation here in Babylon the Great. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody wants to have a voice. Everybody wants to speak out loud, and everybody thinks they're right, especially women, man. Especially women. Okay? And, you know, these are things, as I just read in this precept in the first ones, a silent and loving woman. Okay? Because as we know and as we see, these women in this society, this captivity, they're selfish. Okay? You don't receive love. You receive services. Okay, because the type of love that they really, when they say they love you, it's not because they feel a bond and feel like you're united with them, you get them, etc., and you know they understand their position. They love what you can do for them. They love the benefits that you supply towards their lifestyle. Okay, that's it. You know, we'll receive the silence, the obedience. You know, everything is going to be in balance, you know, correct discernment. Okay, so we'll receive the silence and the loving in the kingdom, which is going to be a gift from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it says, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. And let's make this clear. The instructions of the mind of the women here in Babylon the Great is the indoctrination, the pollution, the perverseness of this captivity, of this society, which is completely liberation, feminism, to want to have the position and the say-so of a man, you know, actually have, as they say, penis envy, okay? And that's not the type of instruction that our women need, that our women should desire. The instruction that our women should have, which should be the instructions from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That should be the pure blueprint from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that we have seek to reclaim, that we seek to apply to our everyday life and to live by. Okay? So, yes, these women are instructed, but they're instructed in the doctrination of the corruption, the contamination of this world, which is perverse and leads them to have these mindset. Now, as you see this first video, you see this woman was actually trying to actually make it seem like she's actually, as they say, cooking, when she's actually, you know, needs to just shut the hell up. And, you know, 18 to 22 to be a feminist, there should be no such thing. And see, because again, Esau, Edom, through various processes, and first and foremost done by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, but he also used this devil to perform those procedures to make you women think like this. There should be no such thing as feminism. But if you want equality, you got to also take equal left and rights. Okay, because you know you can't want to have the same standards as a man, but you want to exempt certain things. No, you gotta take it all. So for her to say you need to be 18 to 22 to be a feminist, no, that should not exist, period. Okay, but let's continue, because I don't want to go on just that, because we have to. I mean, that's why we as men, we have to govern our nation according again to the blueprint, the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai has given us. And why do you think the devil went to the woman first? Because she's the weaker vessel. So we're supposed to, once we come back into this truth and we're granted and gifted this wisdom and knowledge from on high, and also to unlock that understanding for us to dissect and digest this true knowledge, to be able to use it wisely. Okay, so this is the book of 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7. I'm going to read a portion. Likewise, ye husband, and not just ye husband, you men in general. Okay, because even when you conversating and you're courting and vetting and what's the word I can use? Vetting a woman and examining her to see how her mentality and her spirit is. Okay, because that's the true beauty of a woman, is a spirit. As a matter of fact, that's a true beauty of a person in general, is a spirit, especially in this hellhole, this captivity. You got to really reveal and recognize a person's spirit. And yeah, you know, as men, we're visual. We like women that, you know, they look nice and have a nice shape, etc. But that's a plus. But the main thing is her mentality and her spirit. Okay? First Peter chapter 3, verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. And where do we get that knowledge from? Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. As it also states in the book of Romans chapter 15, verse 4, things that are written aforetime were written for what? Our learning. Okay? Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge. Give honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and the woman is the weaker vessel. But Esau has fed you this vomit. Okay, his wine, his philosophies to make you believe that you're better than men, especially you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native and Indo-Indian, Israelite women. Okay, at one point you wanted equality, but now you have women. I mean, come on, we see it on social media platforms and in real life, and they say it constantly. They don't say that they're equal to you. They say that they're better than you. And the way that they conduct themselves, their thought process, what they say, how they look at you, it shows. How they treat you, it shows. These women truly, okay, especially the Israelite women, but all women here in Babylon the Great, they truly think that men are beneath them. Okay, they believe that you were created to be the servant and they're created to be the head. Okay, so we have to understand what we're dealing with, because everything has been revealed to us. We understand what is going on and why it's going on. So when we deal with women in general, we must use that knowledge and understand that she's the weaker vessel, man. Okay, she's the weaker vessel. And this is all a part of prophecy, that these things must occur. These things must happen. Okay. But let's continue, because again, the Lord gave the men the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding. So let's back up. Let's line that precept. 1 Peter 3, verse 7. Let's go back to Sirach. And let's go to the first chapter. And I want to get straight to the point. I don't want to go too long on this lesson. But you can go back and read up further for yourself if you want to get the full context. Okay, this is 1 Peter. Sirach chapter 1, and I'm going to read verses 15 to 17. She is Sophia, that's the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding. She had built an everlasting foundation with men, and she shall continue with their seed. So the knowledge, the wisdom, the understanding, the ones that the Lord is dealing with and having in that leadership role to govern the people, to be leaders, to lead the sheep, lead the flock, etc. Everything, it starts with men. It starts with men and it ends with men. Okay? She have built an everlasting foundation with men. She shall continue with their seed. To fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We also know that nobody fears the Lord but the predestinated, which we hope and pray to be. To fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is fullness of wisdom, and filleth men with her fruits. Okay, so, the man, again, as I stated, everything starts with the man. The lineage, the pedigree, okay, what the gender of the children is going to be starts with men. What the nationality of the children is going to be starts with men. Okay? Everything trickles down with that child from the man. Okay? You get the knowledge and the wisdom and the understanding. Well, the Lord got to unlock the understanding for you, but the Lord, he gives the man the knowledge and the wisdom, and the man teaches the wife, the children. Okay? And why do you think the father is supposed to choose the husband for the daughter? And this is prime examples. This is another prime example of why. Now you heard another clip after this one where she's talking about y'all make decisions on men, this and that, which again, Because women go off what? Emotions, how they make you feel, how he looks. Is he exciting? He's a bad boy. He's not boring. He's unpredictable. He's this, he's that. He's everything negative, but nothing positive. Okay, and then also too, in this society, women want to be the victim. They want to have something to complain about. They truly believe that this whole world is a movie and they're the main star. All eyes on them. The spotlight is on them. They believe that. Okay? And also too that that they're blameless and innocent in every single matter of life. And this one right here, man. Hey, man. I ain't even gonna, y'all heard it and y'all saw it, man. But continuing on, verse 17, Sirach 1 verse 17, she filleth all their house, she filleth all their house with things desirable and garners with her increase. Okay, so that's that knowledge, that wisdom, that understanding, man. That's how you get, because the Lord gives you poverty and riches and everything else, man. Okay? But the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai is the beginning of being accepted with him. And that's the beginning of wisdom. That's the beginning of knowledge, man. But let's continue it on, man, because as what we see right now is, prophecy. These things that must occur and that have happened. And it's only going to change fully in the kingdom. These women will, wake up a little bit when death is right in front of them. Constantly. You can't dial 911. You see men, finally coming at you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. That's when that feminist mindset and everything else is going to go out the window. You're going to wish you had a husband. You're going to wish you had a safety, security, etc. You're going to wish you didn't do the things that you did and hit the button and hit the upload button on all social media platforms with your vomit, man. Okay? So this is 2 Timothy chapter 3. I believe this is what I want. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 6 to 7. For of this sort are they which crept into houses and led captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. So again, we can also refer to the Willie Lynch letter, which I've gone into in various lessons, man. Okay, it was a process, procedures that happened. And it didn't just start with the Willie Lynch letter. Okay, it's been evidence of things been told that it happened on the slave ship. That women already had started the process of treason and betrayal of the men of our nation, man. Okay, and this is because, again, women gravitate towards power. And once, women see the men of their nation are powerless and subdued, and furthermore, these women are not going to submit to a slave, man. They're not going to submit to a slave, and they know that they're a slave, so why would they submit to you? They don't respect you. She ain't with you, and I say it like that because that's how niggas is going to understand it. She ain't with you. Okay? So Esau, crept in their mind, gave all the goodies, all these things, these benefits, and just said, all you gotta do is keep that nigga out the house. I'll make sure you straight. Set up all these programs and everything else to make sure that you women had everything that you needed, man. And we already know what it is, man. Okay? So I'm not going to go fully into it, but verse 7, 2 Timothy 3, verse 7, ever learning, okay, because our women learn, they ain't stupid. They do stupid stuff, but they ain't stupid. Okay, the so-called Negro, Hispanic, Native and Seminole Indian woman, they're not stupid. The wisdom and the knowledge that they have is of this world, which is foolishness. Okay? Ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth. And if you want to see a pure example of that, I highly advise you. That last line, and never able. Okay, and never, matter of fact, the whole precept, 2 Timothy 3, verse 7, ever learning and never able to come to the knowledge of the truth, go to the beloved Elder Monatazak Baz channel, GMS South Carolina 08. He's done various videos of Eve, the infamous nigger woman, trying to preach, trying to teach, trying to act like they got the spirit. That's a pure example of that precept that I just read right here. If you need an example, that's an example. He just did a lesson today, which is Wednesday. This is going to air Thursday, of an N-dub reading and prophesying, talking about this is the Holy Land and all this type of nonsense. That's a pure example right there, man. Okay, but let's close out. So the point is made. I know I said I didn't want to go too long, but you know how it is, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua controls everything. And he wants certain things to get out, so it's nothing I can do about it. But this is the book of Sirach, chapter 17, verse 29 and 31. How great is the loving kindness of Yahweh our power, and his compassion unto such as turn unto him in holiness. And the ones that have turned on and cleaved to Yahweh Shem Yahushua is the predestinated, which we hope and pray to be. Okay, and that's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect, man. So we are the ones that have turned on to the Lord. So with us turning on to the Lord has showed us compassion, consideration, mercy. He has revealed the secrets to us. Okay, because why? Just to name a few things, we're fearful. We're submitting, being in subjection to the Lord, having humility. Okay, just to name a few things. Verse 30. For all things cannot be in men, because the Son of Man is not immortal. And that's what we're fighting for. We're fighting for that to be that immorality. Salaki, if I'm saying that right, I'm excited. We're fighting to be immortal. Okay, let's just say it like that. We're fighting to be immortal, to have everything, to be able to understand everything that we see, man. For everything to be revealed to us. Okay, as you know, it's also stated in the book of Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. Certain things are for us and other things are for the Lord. You know, roughly paraphrasing, Deuteronomy 29, verse 29. Okay? For all things cannot be in man, because the Son of Man is not immortal. Okay, and also too, our people don't understand these things because they haven't seeked or turned towards Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But the only ones that are doing that are the ones that the Lord has predestinated before the foundation and creation of the earth. Okay? Verse 31. What is brighter than the sun? Yet the light thereof faileth. Salakia, what is brighter than the sun? Yet the light thereof faileth. And the flesh and blood will imagine evil. And that's what we see, man. Okay, because these bodies are not immortal. They're prisons. They're weak, corruptible. They get weak. They get diseases. They decay away, etc. We're fighting for that mortal body. So we don't imagine evil. Because evil is all around us. We're surrounded behind enemy lines with evil. And this place advertises, pedestalizes, glorifies evil as good and righteousness as evil, man. So it's an easy thing to cleave on to evil. And all these clips are evil. Telling other women that they should only be feminists till 18 to 22 is evil. It's off. Okay? Another woman telling you other woman that the decisions you making about the men you choose is partaking in evil. How you feel your emotions, laying down with multiple men, carrying men's other DNA spirits. Okay, having a husband, because these men are your husband. There's no such thing as a damn boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, having your husband nurse you back to life after you had 2 brain surgeries, not 1, 2. Wiping your ass. Being there for you 24/7. And it just shows you these women don't care about you, Jake. Being there for you. And just because you're not taking her ungrateful ass out on dates, she don't feel appreciated. We need the kingdom. ASAP. Adawan Ratazah. I hope and I pray that this was edifying, uplifting, and informative to the true, sincere Akim wa Akwaf. So with that, I'm just going to say, Shalom.